king. We are unworthy, but the land bleeds. The people suffer. We have sinned. But on this Easter day, when Christ rose from the dead, may one knight here through victory in arms find the grace to draw the sword and be king.
By my right of victory, by my blood, give me the power.
The underground!
At one time or another, we've all entered into conflict with another human being. Sometimes these conflicts get intense. Sometimes they lead to verbal or physical fights. The harder you push, the harder your rival pushes back.
You'll never batter this down!
The conflict may even escalate to the point where the original matter is forgotten. Reason is lost, and conflict becomes a battle of egos, with both parties fighting to defend their fragile sense of self. The following scene demonstrates an ingenious method for dealing with conflict when adversaries just won't budge. The scene is from the 1981 film Excalibur, directed by John Boorman. There have been many movies based on the mythology of King Arthur, but in my opinion, Excalibur is far and away the best. The movie is a series of vignettes that, strung together, cover all the important elements of the Arthurian legend. Each vignette watches like a parable.
Looking at the cake's like looking at the future. Until you've tasted it, what do you really know? And then, of course, it's too late. Too late.
There are so many good ones, it's hard to choose the best. For me, it came down to two, and I'll probably share the second scene another time. But in the end, I decided that the scene that influenced me the most was the knighting of King Arthur. Arthur becomes King Arthur at a young age. Some legends say he pulls the sword from the stone at 15. The great knights are immediately divided on whether or not to support a boy king.
Merlin! We haven't forgotten you! What trickery is this?
He's trying to foist a fatherless boy upon us! Do you want a bastard as a king?
Or the underground, join us against the boy!
I saw what I saw!
One faction, led by Leandergrance, played by Patrick Stewart, supports the boy king.
Has been chosen! A boy shall be king!
But another group, led by Urins, played by Keith Buckley, adamantly opposes him. What is Arthur to do? The mandate of the future king is well known, to unify the kingdom. But minutes after Arthur becomes king, he is presented with his first major crises. The two greatest knights of the realm and their followers are prepared to go to war over his legitimacy. In desperation, he turns to Merlin, played brilliantly by Nicole Williamson, for advice.
Merlin! Why have you done this to me?
Because you were born to be king.
What does it mean to be king?
Merlin advises him to gather his followers and support Leandergrance.
Any man who would be a knight and follow a king, follow me!
When Arthur arrives at Leandergrance's castle, he finds it under siege by Urin's troops. Arthur's troops immediately engage them. The battle, however, is bloody, and there is no sign that either side will emerge a clear winner. What follows is a brilliant and courageous maneuver. In this great scene, Arthur risks everything, and in one bold stroke, he turns his worst enemy into his most powerful ally, and in the process, unifies his kingdom.
Swear faith to me, and you shall have mercy. I need battle lords such as you.
A noble knight! Swear faith to a squire!
Never!
You're right. I'm not yet a knight. You, Irians, will knight me. Then at night tonight, I can't offer you mercy.
What's this? What's this?
Centurions! In the name of God, St. Michael and St. George, I give you the right to bear arms and the power to meet justice.
That duty I will solemnly obey, as knight and king.
I never saw this.
Rise,
King Arthur.
I am your humble knight, and I swear allegiance to the courage in your veins. So strong it is, its source must be Uther Pendragon. I doubt you no more.
Arthur's maneuver is brilliant. In an instant, he realizes that Urien's ego is at stake. In the Middle Ages, knights were a much higher class than young squires, especially squires of questionable lineage.
Will you train this lad to be my squire?
Who'll give me my armor and sword?
Kitchen knives and greasy spit shall be your weapons, boy, to the kitchens.
Arthur realizes it is beneath Uriens to submit to someone in this lower caste. In a courageous move, Arthur hands his adversary the symbol of all that is powerful, the Excalibur, the sword of kings from the dawn of time. Uriens is shocked and immediately forced to make a hard choice. He can either kill the boy that pulled the sword from the stone and forever be known as the knight who killed the rightful king, or he can knight Arthur. It's important to note that Arthur doesn't give in. Instead, he challenges Uriens to be the honorable knight Arthur knows he is. He treats Uriens with the respect Uriens deserves. Arthur's demonstration of this respect is a strong indication that he is the stuff of kings. Uriens can either obey the law or desecrate it in front of every important nobleman in the realm. In the end, Uriens has no choice. Takeaways. Know that whenever you experience conflict with an adversary, the emotional component is usually the defense of ego. The ego is a fragile thing, and we will sometimes go to great lengths to protect it. Acknowledging that a closely held belief may be false can be very disturbing. How can we be wrong? Is our thinking process flawed? Am I flawed? Or is this person simply trying to con or manipulate me? Our mind usually races to the latter conclusion. Secondly, when you know your adversary is basically a just, fair, and righteous person, try handing him or her the power, especially in the presence of peers. You may be shocked at how their position immediately softens. Finally, note that this technique will not work on sociopaths or evil people. You must know your adversary is of good character. Arthur knew Uriens was an honorable knight. True evil does exist, and it must always be confronted. If you have a different take on the scene or would like to add something, use the comment space below. If you like these clips, press the YouTube subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified when new clips are released. Thanks for watching.